What's going on, folks? UFC 278 Fight Day live chat. Welterweight title fight on the line tonight, and one of the greatest fighters that is currently active in the UFC taking on somebody that he's defeated about what am I talking about? 2 years ago, 7 years ago, back in December of 2015. Kamaru Usman goes out there and continues, or at least tries to continue, his dominant legacy that he's panned out. Um, I'm a big Kamaru Usman fan. Obviously, if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know how many times I've bet on the guy and always come out on the winning side because the guy never loses. I love betting on him, even at chalk. I just think certain stylistic matchups are always the way to go with him, and this is one where I feel like it will come through for him. Uh, let's quickly go through my bets because obviously they are free this week. I did take a minor loss last week, minus 1.93 units. Uh, and to me, I feel like where I went wrong was going a little bit too heavy on Dominic Cruz. I went 3 units, 5 units total technically, but two of those units was on the decision only prop, so I got that money back. But 3 units on his money line put us in the red there. Wish that I only went with the 1 unit. And that's why tonight I'm going with the same kind of narrative, having a guy that's a legend, a guy that I still feel has some bite in his fight. Jose Aldo. I went 1 unit at plus 120 earlier today. I dropped all my bets on my social medias. So for anybody who saw them, you already know what I'm talking about. But if Cruz won last week, I probably would have had the confidence to go out there and lay maybe 3 units again on Jose Aldo. But I have to take that into consideration. The possible passing of the guard, the passing of the torch. So I don't want to get too involved on the Jose Aldo side, but I still feel like it's a spot that I need to exploit, considering that we're getting plus money on a fighter that's considered one of the best of all time, but also has been showcasing in past fights that he can still go out there and get the dub. So hopefully we can get maybe a round one, round two KO, so I don't have to sweat it too much. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the Jose Aldo can cash. A lock that I play is actually going to be Victor Altamirano, first fight of the night, 4 units, minus 168. I do have another bet on that fight, which is the 2 units under 2.5 at minus 160. Again, some may see it as a slight hedge. I'm not the hedging type, but I do think that both those bets can hit, as I do expect Altamirano to get Lacerda out of there probably in the second or early third round. Uh, and then on the Silva side, for anybody that is a little bit skeptical about the Altamirano play, him inside round one is currently sitting around plus 600 at DraftKings. So if you have access to that and want to hedge a little bit on Altamirano, that would definitely be the way to do it. But I'm not doing it. I'll stick with the under 2.5 and straight up bet on Victor Altamirano. Dog of the night play is going to be the second fight of the night. 2 units on Jay Perron at plus 132. I think his grappling will come through for him here against Arichi Lang. And then from there, he should be able to grind him out throughout the 15 minutes and win a decision in this spot. Another spot that I had, it was actually a 3-unit, 4-leg parlay, but with the Miranda Maverick falling out, it has now dwindled down to 3 units. I got Amir Albazi. Feel like he's going to absolutely squash Francisco Figueiredo. Maybe not a finish, but should definitely win that fight without too much issues. The under 1.5 in the Pedro and Hunsucker fight, hella square. I get it, but I'm going to go with the narrative of 12 fights. This guy's never seen the second round. So I'm expecting Tyson Pedro to go out there and squash Harry Hunsucker, but no way am I paying minus 750 on Pedro. I'd rather take violence at minus 355. And then lastly, like I said at the top of the show, Kamaru Usman, you can usually never go wrong with him. This is another spot where you likely can't go wrong with him. So that's a 3-unit parlay that comes out to minus 104. There you guys go. All right. Let's see what the live chat is saying here, folks. That's what we're here for. I'm here for the next hour. I'm here until at least 2 p.m. Eastern for you guys, taking all questions and comments that I can. Usually these pay-per-view cards get pretty, filled up in the live chat. So I won't at a certain point, I'm not going to be able to get to every single comment or question, but I will try to cover as many different topics as I can. And if at any point that I do not answer any of your questions or comments, just go back into the podcast and I'm sure I would have answered it at some point. All right, let's check out Blacked M3 saying, hello, Empire. I was wondering if you had a regular cash out schedule with your profits or if you just add money to your bankroll. If you do cash out regularly, how do you deal with taxes? Thank you. Uh, a lot. So there are many different avenues that I'm getting paid from, right? Obviously, there's the bets that I make. I'll cash out I don't cash out often. Like I like to keep my bankroll in my betting accounts, right? I like to just have that cushion that I don't have to ever put money in. I mean, that's kind of the way that I look at it is I never want to have to take money from my personal bank account to put into my betting spots. And that's why I try to minimize my cash out schedule whenever I do intend on cashing out. I have money in probably 4 to 5 different books at this point in time, pretty much spread out through that. Um, and then I get my like ad revenue, Patreon money, tape index money, all that stuff. That's usually the stuff that I'll have in my bank account and paying whatever I need to pay. But in terms of profits and stuff from my actual betting accounts, I usually like to keep them in the betting accounts. Bananas and grapes. Appreciate you stopping by. Lajuan Dream in the chat. Scott Tixes in the chat. Alex Gagnon in the chat. Alex saying I got a bone to pick with Edwards last fight. Is it the Nate Diaz rocking? Is that what it is? Sandsense Boulevard saying just want my first bet of the day. Haven't even eaten breakfast. What a day to be alive. Is it PFL? Is that what you cashed on already? Marcus Henry in the chat saying Marab is slightly injured from what I'm hearing. Interesting. I would love for you to elaborate on that if you can, my friend. Socrates saying, Lock, let's get it tonight, baby. Yes, sir. Alex Quinones saying Diaz clearly knocked Leon out with 1 minute left, sent him straight to the shadow realm, and then taunted him instead of following up for the finish. I guess he knew he wasn't supposed to win. Nobody can convince me otherwise. Diaz knocked him out. Diaz rocked him. He didn't knock him out. He rocked him. He had him very much hurt that night. Yeah, it's on him, right? He pulled a Nate Landwehr, if that's what you want to call it, where he had his guy dead to rights, but decided to be the showman, be the entertainer and just point at him rather than following up. And it probably could have been him in this title fight should he have gone out there and actually followed up and finished Leon Edwards. So not a good look from Diaz, not a good look from Leon Edwards either. Casanova Traps in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. Andrew Marchenko, always fun to see you in the chat. Saying, Locke, what do you think about my theory? Usman is old, knees are shot to bits. Last time he wrestled was first Masvidal fight. There's a big chance he was standing jab with Edwards. Again, I talked about this at length because I am seeing this narrative be put out there more and more throughout fight week in regards to Usman not wrestling as much as he used to. Let me just pull up the stats here for you guys. I believe that is false, and I believe it is subjective based on the matchups that he had ahead of him. Kobe Covington. So you know what? Let's go from the first Masvidal fight, right? He landed 5 takedowns in the first Masvidal fight, but we know that was like the cage pushing fight, if anything. Gilbert Burns fight. He didn't shoot a single takedown that night because he knows Gilbert Burns is very dangerous on the mat. This is a guy that he's trained with for a long time. Gilbert Burns used to corner this guy. So I know Kamaru Usman has respect for his BJJ, hence why he didn't shoot for takedowns that night and still managed to get the knockout and win that fight. The Jorge Masvidal fight, the second Jorge Masvidal fight, he landed 2 takedowns. He got a minute and a half of control time. That fight only lasted 6 minutes. So it's not like people just remember him knocking out Jorge Masvidal and thinking that, no, this guy doesn't wrestle. He was wrestling. He landed 2 takedowns in that first round. And then the fight only lasted a minute into that second round. I'm sure if that fight went longer, he would have shot more takedowns. And then the Colby Covington fight, he was 1-on-1 on takedowns that night. But just as we saw in the first fight, both these guys are high-level wrestlers, very difficult to take down on either side. But Kamaru knew that he had the striking advantage in terms of the power. He was going to be able to land the big shots. He was going to be able to hurt Colby, and he was going to be able to make it look good for the judges. He has not gone away from his wrestling. Stop it. It's all matchup based. You think he's going to go out there and just try to outstrike a striker in Leon Edwards? He's going to mix in his whole MMA game. Again, the other striker that he fought, Jorge Masvidal, he's taken down 7 times in 2 fights. So I don't believe in that at all. Marcus Henry saying Usman around 4 or 5 or decision. Let's go. I like it. Minus 155 if you can get it. Finesse God saying for DK, Pedro, Saldana, or Obazi, Lusa. Ooh, I don't know about that. Pedro, yeah, obviously he should go out there and get the win pretty easily, right? I don't think that's out of the question. I lean Albazi over Saldana, and then I'm not even big on Lusa, right? Kind of low volume ish, kind of sketchy. Yeah, the tough DraftKings card because you got to choose from all the chalk, right? I think Albazi, Pedro, um, Usman. Even though I'm picking against Marab is usually a gold mine when it comes to DraftKings. Hopefully that helps. The real stud saying Edwards inside the distance. Good luck, my friend. Marcus saying Aldo by decision or KO. Marab is injured. Rumor. I'm hoping he gets that KO. Marcus saying it's rumor. Just had some people tell me, but not have any effect on the fight. We'll see. Omari in the chat. Hey, I know you are I believe you are a fellow baby, and I feel like you would appreciate this. Saw you in the chat last night, but I think you left before I could even pull it out. Appreciate it. Jewish better saying I have a guy. Trust me. Exactly. That's what it is. Corey Yipo saying Arichi Lang is going to manhandle Peron. He looks scared at ceremonials. Oh my God. Are we doing the whole what these guys look at weigh-ins thing again? I thought Paul Craig let you guys know that shit doesn't matter. Omar, are you saying I think I took Usman by KO in round 2, 3, or 4 for plus 1500? I'm thinking it's going to come later, if anything. So you might have wanted that 4-5, but good luck, my friend. Ricky Chow saying minus 675, Pedro on DK. I feel like it should be minus 1000. There's not much difference between 675 and 1000, though. Let's be honest. Keikai Akagi saying, hey, bro, what is most likely to you? Costa KO or Lacerda Altamirano fight doesn't go to decision? I'd lean on that latter a tad bit more. Casanova is saying, what do you think about the AJ fight? That's the fight that I have the least amount of confidence in. Yeah. I lean Fletcher. I think he'll be able to get the takedowns, but I'm not willing to pay the chalk on it myself. White House saying so Aldo by KO for today. I like it. I hope so. I hope so. B-Man D saying, new viewer, love the content, my man. Appreciate your perspective. Being in Ontario myself, you find any good books that offer booster special for UFC? DK seems to be scared now to offer it. I see FanDuel offers it every now and then, right? Like for tonight, but their limits are kind of small. They're very soft. Like they usually have those wacky boosts where it's like, tonight says Kamaru Usman lands one significant strike for plus 100 or whatever the fuck it is, but it's like a $25 limit. So I don't think there are, many books are offering booster specials as much anymore. But in terms of like UFC and MMA, I think the main books that you want to have is FanDuel and DraftKings, as long as they don't start to limit you, though. Corey Yuba saying in betting so much against Silva, a mistake. He's crazy good round 1. I kind of disagree. Well, yeah, he is crazy good in round 1, but I think the Altamirano is good enough to nullify much of that success. And again, the under 2.5, not too bad of a spot either to cover that as well. Drew's pressing outfit looking fresh. Hey, a lot of my stuff is in the laundry today, so I apologize. So I had to go with the double lock of the night here. Appreciate it though. Alex Canio saying, who just comes into this chat saying, I've had a guy, trust me, and then dips out, or is this Jewish guy, the Marcus guy, talking about the rumor, then he switched to an alt account? No, I highly doubt that. Jewish guy is legit guy. Alex Ramirez in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. Black Time 3 saying biggest play is Usman 4-5 decision minus 150. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Corey Yipo saying Luke Rockhold. Good luck, my friend. Let's see if he's going to be able to take that damage on the chin. John West in the chat saying, "Hey, Lock, hope everything is well. I see you were on the under 2.5 in the Alto Moreno fight. Same here. Any concerns? Vegas seems to be holding the line firm despite it appearing everyone is on the under. Like there is a possibility that Alto Moreno doesn't put his foot on the gas and eventually just wins this fight by decision. But I think that there is, steady action on the over that people that we're not seeing because again, the vast majority of bettors and people that really take MMA betting seriously, they're not on social media. They don't want people to know what their plays are. So again, if you all only see it on social media, don't think that that's the Bible, right? That's the Holy Grail. Like that is not everything. There's so much more out there that we have no idea about. Jake Green saying, "Dog of the night is Perron. Do you have a lean on another dog?" I like Jose Aldo. I bet him as well 1 year at plus 120. Prison Mike saying, "This is Dakota Ditcheva chick. Did she win? Right? She was supposed to fight PFL today. Let's see what the PFL results are. Oh my guy, Newsome MMA is actually at the fights right now, and he's involved with Dakota Ditcheva with her in terms of management wise. Seems like she's on the main card, so let's see how that goes out." Viking in the chat saying, "What's up, Lock? How about a Bozzy Woodson Kamaru Dean parlay? I like it. I think all those guys win. Can't hate on that whatsoever." Thomas Kane saying, "Costa Usman sub parlay bombs away. Just put $1 on that 2-legger. Costa and Usman sub parlay. Wow. Good luck." Andrew Logan saying, "What are your best 4 underdog plays?" Personally, I only have bets on 2 underdogs. Um, let's see who the other dogs that I'd consider. Leo Santos. Man, Leo Santos and Tybura, but I am picking against both those guys. But I do think that like the Romanov and Gordon sides are the landmines of the card. They are very dangerous, which is why I'm saying those are my other 2 favorites. I couldn't get to the betting window to bet the underdogs, but I acknowledge the possible threat that they can provide to those big favorites here. Omar Easting, "Sure am." No, I saw it. I just didn't see you comment on it afterwards. That's why. Real News MMA saying the oops button. I see we got another baby in the chat. Appreciate it. Harmon's Fry saying, "Hey, Lock, what do you see as the best value bet on tonight's card? Would you take Usman Edwards as a decision bet? Costa versus Rockhold, 2 rounds or less bet. And finally, Aldo to upset Marab in majority decision." Ah, I think Aldo is probably one of the better spots in terms of plus money here. Maybe not by decision because I think that a KO is live in the spot. But even though I'm at plus 120, I think is good. Again, I haven't bet it, but like Rockhold is a solid underdog in my opinion. If his chin can take the damage, that's the only issue. But I just see him getting hit over and over again, and I think eventually he's going to go down. And then Tybura, based on experience and based on this being one of the toughest matchups that Romanov has had to go up against, that plus 250 or whatever Tybura is currently at could look damn good. I just can't get to the betting window myself though. Elijah Dream saying, "Will you have the final bets post on Patreon after this?" Yes, I will be posting that right up. The main thing I was waiting for was to pull the trigger on the. I was waiting to pull the trigger on Aldo. I actually did that pretty much right before actually jumping on live here. So I'll be putting together the final bets thing for you guys and dropping that after this. So appreciate the reminder, but yes, it'll be coming out. Corey Yipo saying Perron going to get wrecked. We shall see. Julio B saying post your picks on Twitter. You demand. That's how it goes, man. If I'm not on a 3-event winning streak or longer, I post my picks on my Twitter and IG the day before the fights, or at least the morning of the fight. So keep your eyes posted on that. You're getting at least 3 straight free events over the next couple events. Prison Mike saying, "I'll also like watching the weigh-ins in my tight shorts in case the fighters vibe. The small details matter while decision making." Is that how you guys do it in the clink? Gotta say, Prism Mike has probably been one of my favorite commenters, commenting on the show over the last couple weeks. So shout out to Prism Mike sticking with the shtick. Casanova saying bet online really good for MMA as well. Yes, it is. Casanova, in terms of like we're talking about like legal. Again, we can bet online as well up here in Canada, but in terms of legal sports betting sites that have opened up in Ontario back in April, FanDuel and DraftKings probably lead the pack here. Vikings saying Gore, Mr. Tozer. Yeah, that guy's a fucking weirdo. I saw what he did to my guy. Best Fight Picks on his show the other day. That was fucking weird. Get a life, guys. Jeez. Are you like that little guy just cooped up, said, "Oh my god, look, I just put a gay picture on this guy's stream." Get a life. John West saying, appreciate it, brother. Good luck. No worries, my friend. Good luck to you as well. Alex Ramirez saying, lock the night. Gordon by decision or TKO. Your opinion. I think Gordon wins, but man, Leo Santos is very dangerous in that early going as well. I don't mind it. I don't mind it, but I just can't take the shot myself on Gordon. I like betting Gordon as an underdog, not so much as a chalky favorite, but I see that you're trying to approach it from a props perspective. That may be the prop to take, if anything, though. Corey Ipo saying, do you still feel good about with Fletcher? Lusa look bigger than I remember. I believe they're the same height, at least according to UFC stats. The reach is obviously on the Lusa side, but again, I've never really felt good about Fletcher. Like I've never felt good about that fight, period. Lean is still Fletcher, but I'm not going to pay the chalk on him, nor am I going to take that small underdog shot on Lusa, who could potentially land the bigger and better strikes. Just not sold on him as of yet. House of Guards in the chat saying, do people have insider info? Money keeps going on Jay Perron. I don't know. Maybe they know something that we don't know, but just based off of tape, I'm more than happy with the line that I got on him. Gotta always, more often than not, gotta fade grapplers, especially at plus money. Or not fade, gotta ride the grappler train. Sorry. I don't know. My mind is a little bit shaky this morning. Andrew Marchenko saying Pedro, Usman, Romanov are all super high upside favorites on DK, but they eat out all of the salary. Literally no dogs outside of Lacerda with the potential to score well. Good point there. Let me see if there's other dogs other than Lacerda that could score well. Santos with the possible KO early or finish early. That's usually his win condition. Hunsucker, if he's able to get that early finish, he could break all the slates in the world. Aldo, I think, has potential to do decent. Rockhold as well. Like if he gets the takedown and can smash from on top, that guy might look very good as well. Nicholas Lee in the chat. What's up, Block? How was that kids' party? It was good. It was fun. Again, all the kids like were gone by like 8 or 9 o'clock, and then me, my boy, and all of his cousins just ended up hanging out and chilling for the rest of the evening. So appreciate you asking, my friend. Lajon Dream. Appreciate the love as always. Sansense Boulevard saying for shits and giggles, how do you see MVP in Peru going or Perry going? Yeah, that's happening soon, right? I think that should be going down very shortly. Kind of lean MVP, right? I think his range will make it hard for Perry to land big strikes. Should be a fun fight. I think that's what BKFC is banking on more so, is hoping that it's going to be a fun fight. Thomas Kane is saying Aldo is a sucker's bet. Played fight out of my head 50 times. Got Aldo winning 3 times for 6%. Got 500 on Marab. Okay, there, Thomas Kane. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Just Bear saying Prism Mike got a guy. He does. Viking saying off topic, but just heard Azatara and Frivola is confirmed. Yes, that is true. That should be a fun fight. I'll be keeping my eyes on seeing what that Azaitar round 1 is. I was able to cash it against Kamaworthy around plus 300. If they give me a similar number here, I'm going to have to take a little bit of a sprinkle. But if Frivola does what Frivola does, he will fuck Azaitar up. As long as his chin holds up. That's the main thing. Casanova saying, Wuro Pudilova, asking all the hard questions here, my guy. Tough fight on the card. I think that for the best thing to do is just pass on the fight as a whole. Just considering how close I end up seeing this fight, I think Pudilova will likely be the side just based on her, her more effective striking, her more damaging shots. I think she is the one that would likely take this to the ground more often than Wu will. Whereas Wu will just kind of rely on her volume and output to try to get that win, but she's just not that good. Um, Again, Nora's Pudilova, she's already gotten cut from the UFC once after going on a 4-fight losing streak, but goes on a 5-1 streak in her last 6 fights on the regional scene and now finds herself back in the UFC. So I lean Pudilova, but I don't want to bet that fight at all, and I wouldn't suggest anybody either. Drew Better saying better line has Santos inside the distance. No distance, no action. Oh, goes distance, no action for plus 155. I don't mind that, but there is a chance that Gordon could finish him. I have Gordon just because I think he's got the better skills overall. I can't see myself going with a 42-year-old. This 42-year-old has some crack. We shall see. Anthony's saying, thanks for keeping it fun with your breakdowns and then stopping to check the trolls. You're the truth, bro. Gotta do what we gotta do, my friend. Gotta let them know every now and then. Casanova is saying, my bad, brother, just looking for the juice spots. No worries, man. I was just giving you a hard time there. You can ask any and all questions. I'll give you my, genuine thoughts on each fight. That's kind of how I felt. Don't let it stop you from asking questions or my thoughts on certain matchups. Alan Huang saying thoughts on Woodson versus Saldana. It's going to be tough for Saldana to get it done, man. I think he's going to struggle in terms of the range that Woodson likes to fight at. And then that gas tank is just a nightmare for Saldana. Never, you got to be careful backing guys that don't have cardio. You have to get either a really good number, which you're kind of getting here with Saldana, but I'd need a bigger number. I think Woodson finishes him later in this fight. Was there a late night last night? Yes, it was. I did manage to finish the Week 6 Contender Series tape index. Unfortunately, my guy Newsom is at the PFL event, like I said, so he won't be able to post that for you guys until tomorrow. But the upcoming PFL is already Contender Series is already posted on there. But tomorrow, I expect the following week's Contender Series to be posted as well. So shout out to anybody and everybody that's on the on the tape index. Jazz Shergi on the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. Jewish Bear saying, I think this is an easy fight for Wu if she grapples often. Ooh. That is a path to victory for her. I don't know if she'll go for it as aggressively as she should. Exactly. Jewish Bear saying she won't. Sahil in the chat saying, cakewalk for Airman. Airman? Do you mean Otman? Josh goes saying, I think people sleeping on Silva by sub tonight. Think he kicks off the card with a bang, but hopefully for your sake, I hope I'm wrong. We shall see. I think you're talking about Dust Silva, since we have another Silva on the card, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, wait, we have another Santos on the card. Vikings saying Marab looking good since Drake picked Aldo. I'm done with the whole Drake fade, guys. There is no Drake fade. Drake doesn't even put his real money on these fights, so let's not get wrapped up on that. Miguel Win saying, what's up, my Punjabi brother? Main tehu bhi ara karada hai. I appreciate it, my friend. Did you get that straight from Google Translate? Socrates saying Pedro inside round 1, Altamirano inside the distance, Costa round 1, Pro by decision, Santos round 1 finish. $10 gets me 39.43. I don't mind it. Again, the only one that I'm kind of disagreeing with there is the Santos, but that is his win condition. Good luck, my friend. I'll be thinking about you. Harman Stry saying, do you think Drake's hot streak will continue again tonight? He's been on a roll. Don't get too wrapped up with Drake, guys. I'm telling you. We need to stop that. Black M3 saying, where did you work before this? And what made you get it out of the Matrix? I was involved in the music industry. I was part of music business, but the pay sucks. And I really hated my job. You know what I mean? Like working in a cubicle, data entry type of shit, mechanical royalties. It wasn't really that fun. Then when I got to work from home because of COVID, I really started putting my all into this lock of the night content creation stuff, and it took off. So I got to the point where I was making enough money out of this stuff where I'm like, peace. And I'm able to provide content to you guys on a daily basis full time, but it can't be done without your support. So I truly appreciate every single one of you that are allowing me to do this thing on a full-time basis. Omar E saying, what's in round 2 or 3 KO prop is better? I like it. I like it. I like it. AJ saying, are you on Flash Gordon tonight? I am passing that fight as a whole, but I do think that Flash Gordon wins. Corey Yupo saying, I took Woodson by submission plus 800. Saldana trains at Wrestle Heavy Gym. Woodson long arms call for a guillotine. The guy's more of a boxer, though, right? Like, I don't think I can quickly correct myself, but I don't even think Woodson has a finish by submission on his record, right? Sean Woodson. Guillotine choke, Kevin Brown Jr. So first ever professional MMA fight. He does get a choke. And unfortunately for him, that's been his only submission win in his MMA career. So I see the angle. I don't know if it'll work out though. Cody Vaughn saying, "Hey bud, what are some of your favorite props tonight?" The best prop bets that I gave out on the show last or on Thursday with Cody was Usman 4-5 decision at -155, Alta Moreno de Silva under 2.5 at -170, and what was the one? Oh, Aldo via KO plus 450. Those are my three favorite. Juice Better saying, I can't believe people are actually serious thinking because Drake picks something it loses. Yeah. We got to stop with that. Again, he knows nothing about these fighters. He knows nothing about MMA. Yeah. I don't get it. And again, I don't even think it's his money. I think Steak is just paying him a fuck ton of money to continuously push him. Why would Drake just push Steak for the fuck of it? There's a reason. They're one, giving him fake money to bet with, and two, they're paying him to do the shit. Prison Mike saying, back in the clink, if your somebody had long arms, you better not be a wrestler. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Harmon's Rice saying, I didn't get a chance to ask last stream. As a fellow Canadian, what are your thoughts on Rory McDonald's retirement and his legacy in the sport? I'd say second best Canadian fighter after GSP. I think that's going to be hard to argue when you have a guy like Carlos Newton who used to do the damn thing back in back in the day. Rory's probably top 5. I'd have to really think about the other guys, but like top 3, right? GSP, Carlos Newton, then probably Rory. But Rory, it was his performances and his potential that shined more than his actual success inside the cage, right? Um, yeah, he had the title fight against Robbie, but always came up short. Funnily enough, like I'll show you guys right. Every time I do this stream, on the other side of my studio is the MMA. If you guys remember, MMA History Today would do like the Art of War things, and they sent me a bunch of posters, and I'll give you guys a quick peek behind the scenes here. But on the other side, I just had to do the quick flipperoo there. On the other side, I stare at that picture all the time from their second fight with them staring at each other. So I always think about Rory McDonald when I'm doing these streams in Robbie Lawler because I see it right across from me. But yeah, um, fun fighter. It's unfortunate he never really got to achieve his highest potential, which a lot of people thought he had. Juice Barrett saying everyone knows French Montana is the man. He bet 1 mil on Khabib versus Connor. Did he though? Jimmy the Drunk with the $5 donation. Appreciate the love saying, Mama ain't raised no bitch, baby. You already know. Landau saying, sorry, do you ever try full card parlays, taking a money line in each fight? I hit one at UFC 266 last year, and I've been throwing away $10 every event since. Should stop, but what if next one hits and I didn't bet? I don't do money lines, but I do like a combination of money lines and props. More often than not, like fight goes to decision or fight doesn't go to decision. But again, it's been a while since I've done it. But multi-event parlays, I feel like, are the way to go. Like I gotta put one in. Maybe I'll put one in for today if I get the chance. But take a couple spots from upcoming cards. Have that patience to let a parlay play over 4 weeks or something like that. But I've done it before. I've done the full card parlays before. I've done the multi-event parlays before. It's worth it. It's better than buying a lottery ticket at the end of the day, right? Cody Vaughn saying Usman round 4 or 5 decision. Around minus 140 looks nice. I didn't realize it was down to minus 140 now. Last time I checked, it was minus 155. I like it. Justin J saying, shout out to you, bud. Never ending content. Much appreciated. I appreciate the love as always, guys. Again, consistency and just continuously putting my face on camera and dropping content. I'm seeing a noticeable uptick in the love and the new followers, the new subscribers, and all that stuff. So why fuck with the sauce? Just keep doing it. AG saying Usman by kill. I like it. Sahil saying Joshua or Usyk. I am not much of a boxing guy, so I apologize that I'm not able to give you guys much of a lean on that spot. Problem Kid saying Saldana can't wrestle though. What's going to maul him the longer it goes? Yes, Saldana is not much of a wrestler, and he has a horrible gas tank. So like if he chooses to wrestle, he's fucking himself over by letting his gas tank go that quickly. Vikings saying, well done, bro. Proves that hard work and guts can get you places. Yes, sir. Just do what you do and do it to the best of your abilities. Don't half-ass it. People see through the half-assing. Harman's Rai saying, if Usman wins tonight in spectacular fashion, what do you see as a more plausible matchup next for Usman, Chimaev, or division change and chasing the second belt? I hope it is Chimaev. I hate to say that because Bilal is likely more deserving, especially if he's able to go out there and beat Sean Brady in October. But like everybody's more psyched to see Chimaev fight him, right? I'd like to see the Chimaev fight. I don't want to see him change divisions yet. I feel like he has to beat those guys first before we're going to be like, okay, go ahead. There's nobody else to fight. Like right now, there pretty much is nobody else to fight other than Chimaev. And Bilal, again, Bilal is deserving it. But yeah, I want to see those two fights first before he moves up. Corey Yupo saying, my 7-year-old can put a guillotine in. There you go. Miguel Wins saying, Lock is to go. Appreciate the love, my friend. Joe McCarter saying, what's your profit loss for this year? Do you track it publicly? Yes, I do. And I think it's very important that people track it publicly. I started off the year pretty shitty. I think I went down like minus 25 units at the beginning of the year. But since I've managed to clamber back, I am just shy of 4 units of profit on the year. But I think a lot of that came due to me really honing in on what I'm best at, in my opinion. I think that's straight bets and not being afraid to lay the chalk when I feel really comfortable in it. I believe I have one of the best, amongst guys that have been tracking for 4+ years, which I have been doing. I have one of the best big favorites ROIs. I think it's at like 18% ROI based on my ability to pick big favorites. But even just, slight underdogs, I have a pretty good track record there as well. But over the last, what is it, since April, what is that, 4 months ago, I've been up maybe 30-ish units or something like that. So hoping to keep that going. I believe in the description of this video, or if not, at least check one of my last videos in the description. I do have a link to my third-party track record on betmma.tips. So make sure you guys go check that. Always, if you're taking advice from anybody, always make sure that they have some sort of a track record. Can't be just talking out of their ass. Thomas Kane saying, can you see a bunch of club and subs tonight? It's possible. There are. Luke Rockhold is possible for a club and sub. Maybe Jose Aldo. That's more so of a tinfoil hat conspiracy. Pedro club and sub possibility. Romanov possible club and sub possibility. Leo Santos. Amir Albazi. Daniel Dos Silva, or even Victor Altamirano. One of those two guys. Plenty of opportunities, I think. Problem Kid saying Drake is dog shit. There's also a 90% chance that money is stake giving him to bring promo in for the younger crowds. Exactly. The money is fake. The money is fake that he's betting. I promise you guys that. Fake Drake stake. There you go. Prison Mike saying, back at the clink, we celebrate when our brothers make it out. Thanks for the content. Appreciate you, my friend. Problem Kid saying, what's your 3 favorite plays tonight, brother? I got to go Altamirano money line, under 2.5 in the Altamirano spot, and J Pro. In terms of a chalky parlay, I do think that there's a chalky parlay that hits tonight that involves Kamaru Usman, Amir Albazi, Those are the two spots that I have. Then I also have the chalk on the under 1.5 in the Pedro fight. But even if you want to throw in Woodson there, I think that's not too bad of a spot either. And if you listen to my guy Lucrative last night, he seems very, very confident on the Paulo Costa side. Me, not so much, but I would rather pay the minus 150-ish on his KO line than take that money line myself. Miguel Nguyen saying, make sure you guys hit that fucking like button. Yes, do listen to that guy. Appreciate it, guys. Tammy Goodry saying, do we have a good live dog? Jay Perron is the dog of the night. Good luck. Harman Shai saying, oh man, that's such a sweet poster from Artivore. Those guys are awesome. Josh Bear saying, Corey, you would think that, but it's not that simple. Andrew Marchenko saying, do you give Bumfig a chance here? He's cheap and got awful. No, I am giving him no chances at all, honestly. Corey Eeple with the $5 dono, man. Appreciate that love, my friend, as always. Mostly, though, I appreciate the support, man. You're one of the regulars in most of the chats here, so I truly appreciate the support. The donation is even more appreciated. Here's 5 on it from Seattle. Shout out to the Mariners having one of their better seasons, but it's unfortunate that everybody else is having a great season as well. Not sure if you're a Mariners fan, though. Shout out to Ichiro. And I think Ken Griffey used to play for them as well, right? I'm not. Can you tell that I'm not much of a boxing or a baseball guy? House of Guards saying I have a big multi-event parlay, and last leg is Usman moneyline paying up plus 1250. Good luck, my friend. I wish I loaded up on Usman. Maybe I'll look to load up on Usman and some future spots later today. Yeah, I love it. I think you cash. Good luck, my friend. Gunny saying I'm lurking. I know you are. Appreciate the love, my friend, as always. Juice Bear saying, broke my finger like a moron the first time I tried a guillotine. Ouch. Doesn't sound fun. Black M3 saying, really appreciate your input. Really helps us that don't have the time to watch tape. Yes. That is what I hope to provide, right? Whether you agree or disagree with my picks, what I do is watch the tape, do my research, give you guys what I think is going to happen based off what I've ingested. Now it's up to you guys whether to decide to take my information or go up against it. House of Guard saying, let Hamzat warm up versus Bilal, then fight Usman a month later. I don't mind that. Hamzat versus Bilal would be a great fight. You know, getting a title shot after fucking getting a title shot after beating Nate Diaz is weird, right? That's what Leon Edwards is getting. But you know, credit to him, he did accept the Hamzat Chimaev fight numerous times. It's just unfortunate that they always fell out. My guy Jimmy the Drunk is on the I'm ready to die without a reasonable doubt, smoking chronic and hitting it doggy style before I go out. Before they sign my death certificate, all eyes on me. I'm still at it. And now Illmatic, and that's the documentary. Shout out to the game. I love it. Game is I gotta throw on some game later today. Was my favorite G Unit member, believe it or not. And second was Young Buck. Harmon's Dry saying, why do you feel when it comes to brothers sisters competing in MMA that there's always one sibling completely better than the other one? Why do you think that's the case? Thanks again, Locke. Appreciate the love and appreciate the question. I don't know, but I think it's just a further attribution to, you know, MMA is a tough sport. It really is. Like, you really need to have that dog in you to go out there and willing to accept being hit in the face and you know, then still coming back forward and implementing your own game plan and your own style of fighting. It's just a tough it's a tough sport. It is a very tough sport. Jeff K saying Brady's about to beast through Bilal. I think again, pre-tape lean, I do lean Brady myself, but interested to see how I come out once I uh how I feel after running the tape. Buffo on the beat saying, Locke, I think I'm falling in love with Juju Miller. Is that the chick that just won the Ultimate Fighter? And why are you running that? AJ saying, I wonder if Cloudbat has a problem for who's leaving UFC after this fight. I'm going to talk to them. I want to see if they can put together some sort of predict who's going to get cut next type of thing. Joe McCarter with a $5 donor. Appreciate the love as well. Hell yeah. Respect for publicly tracking and congrats on the comeback over the past few months. Thank you, man. Again, it's a tough. If people think, oh, MMA, betting MMA is easy, like they haven't done it for a long enough time to truly feel the trials and tribulations of it at times. I'm glad that I'm, you know, on the upswing. Hope to keep it that way. Jimmy the Drunk saying Apple Fury at San Diego last week. She was looking for you guys are jokes. Mitchell Reyes saying, you said Jay Prawn? Yes. I think he is one of the best dogs tonight. Derek Wilcox saying going to round robinson round 3 props tonight. I see a lot of late finishes. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Usman, possible late finish. Maybe even Marab. I got money on Aldo, but if somehow Aldo starts to slow down, maybe Marab gets him out of there late. Gotta work on my posture, guys. I apologize. Gotta get my fat ass back into shape. I keep saying it, but fuck. Other possible round 3 finishes, maybe Tyson Pedro. I highly doubt that fight even reaches round 2, but like, should that get to round 3, Harry Hunsucker is going to be Harry Hunsucked by that time. Marcin Tybura, possible round 3 spot. Jared Gordon, possible round 3 spot. Sean Woodson, maybe Albazi, and Victor Altamirano. So I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. Don't panic artists say, Lock, my man, what's up? Hope all is well with you and the family. I got Fletcher versus Usman to not go to decision at plus money. I'm the only one who finds that odd. I think I've seen a lot of people actually on the fight to go to decision, right? Both guys are difficult to get out of there. And Lusa, seeming to be a big power puncher, doesn't really translate as much into his fights. And then Fletcher, I think he's more so relying on his grinding more so than anything. Yeah, I think you might be the only one that I've ever seen this week taking the fight doesn't go to decision. Good luck to you. I have no action on that fight myself, but everybody I'm seeing is going to be taking the overs. Omar E saying BetMGM has a 20% boost on the UFC parlay. There you guys go, looking for boosts. Derek Wilcox saying Usman and Usyk is almost even money for a parlay. Interesting. How the mighty have fallen with Anthony Joshua, right? Remember how he was the shit back in the day? Thomas Kane saying, why not go for the energy drink sponsor? They pay good. I believe everybody can use extra. Do you think it is selling out? Energy drink sponsor? What are you talking about? Am I missing on something? Derek Cliff saying, Killcliff. Should I reach out to Killcliff and see if they'll sponsor the show? That'd be dope. Problem Kid saying, yeah, let's get Matt some sponsors, perfect background to hang some stuff up on. Hey, if Killcliff wants to get with your boy, I'd be more than happy to add a sponsor to the show like that. Andrew Marchenko saying everything would be so much easier if Cocksucker can hold up for 1 minute and not give Pedro a quick finish bonus. Pedro KO after 1 minute, and he's not going to be optimal with 105 points while being 9,500. I'd be surprised. Could it finish under 1 minute? Maybe. But I think that we see Pedro take that approach that he took in the Ike Villanueva fight. Chop the calf. And that takes a couple minutes to settle in. House of Cards saying, why don't you put your lock of the night into your 3-way parlay? What is the reasoning behind that? Good question. I'm trying to lean on straight bets as much as possible, right? Like even I said earlier in this podcast, like props and parlays have been kind of messing me up, but like I felt like that chalky parlay that I put together of Albazi, Usman, and the under 1.5 in the Pedro fight, like somebody could fuck it up. It's absolutely that somebody could fuck it up, and you're banking on 3 outcomes to come through. Whereas with the lock of the night play, like I don't want to lean on parlays as much anymore. I just want straight picks. Like even going back and looking at my track record, my straight picks are at an all-time high right now. And I don't want to fuck my lock of the night up by banking on 2 spots. Perfect example, Lupito Godinez last week, right? Like I could have put her in a parlay because I felt that good about her, but I could have put her in a lock of the night parlay, I should say, because I felt that good about her. But like I don't mind eating the chalk on a straight money line bet if I feel really good about it. Now, I felt really good about Budai, and he almost fumbled the bag himself, which goes to show that it could happen with anybody at any time. So I would rather just lean on that one spot, lean on one fighter at decent enough odds. I thought minus 168 was good enough for Victor Altamirano. Thomas Kane saying, curious to follow Southpaw versus Ortho underdogs. Is there an easy way to track that? Then go through every fight. I feel like Bet MMA Tips might actually have something that you can check that out. They have like a fight search option where you can just put in all the, filters and criteria that you want to track, and they should be able to spit out some statistics for you. So I'm not 100% sure if you can track that. I feel like you can, because I feel like on the fighter pages on Bet MMA Tips, they actually have the stances that these guys fight in. So I feel as though at a certain point you'll be able to, put together some sort of search to track that. Check it out. Maybe even hit up the guy on Bet MMA Tips and see if that's something that's possible. And then come back to the live stream. Whether it's this one or another one in the future, and let us know if you come out with something there. Nathan B saying Tyson Pedro round 2 win plus 500. It's live. It is absolutely live. If you see a methodical approach from him, I really hope not. Jewish Better, appreciate the $10 dono, my friend. Jewish Jesus on our side tonight. Good luck on your bets, my friend. Black M3 saying, do you think it's possible to sports bet for a living? It is possible. At the stage I'm at in my life, in my career, it would be way too much of a headache and stress to bank on every single weekend to pay the bills and to put food on the table and to put a house over our head. Essentially, that's why I like creating those other paths of revenue, right? Content creation, YouTube ad revenue, super chats here. I mean, you guys are definitely helping out in that aspect as well. The Patreon, the tape index. Like, I have all these other things set up as well to have as a concrete form of income rather than the possible flimsiness of sports betting, right? Maybe down the road when I'm getting into betting, 5 figures or something like that, I can do that. But I don't want to bet 5 figures at this moment in time because I feel like it'll be too much of a detriment to the rest of my life. So I'm slowly building my way up there. I eventually want to get to that point where I can make those big money bets. Like right now, like the biggest bets I'll be making are 4 figures. But even then, I'm still stressed out about it to be like, hey, like I hope this hits. But I think like it adds a lot of stress to people, and then I think that causes people to start chasing, and then maybe that puts them into a bigger hole or something like that. So I want to live long. I want to live a healthy life. You know what I mean? And I feel like adding that type of stress in terms of banking on bets to hit for you every single week as a form of income and a form to put food on your plate, I think that causes way too much stress and might even cause you to make ill-advised bets as well. But if anybody's able to do it and not stress out, all props to you. Harman Try saying, who do you see as the potential last matchup for Francis Ngannou, as it seems more likely that Francis doesn't renew his contract, Jones is sure gone too, or perhaps a Stipe trilogy? I actually released the coach's main event marathon earlier last night. Late last night, I sent it out, and I was talking with Francis' coach. We broke down the Edwards and Usman fight, but I also got a little bit of insight on terms of what's happening with Francis. Apparently, Francis is in Cameroon right now, and he's doing some stuff back there. He's shooting some sort of documentary, but he's been cleared to hit pads, so he's hitting pads with Eric Nixick recently. They're looking for like early next year, but they want to see what happens with the heavyweight division. Right now, Stipe and Jones seems to be on the table for later this year. Maybe they fight the winner of that, because those are the two names that Eric was talking about. He goes, we have our eyes set on either Jones or Stipe, because we have to give Stipe his credit as being one of the best heavyweights of all time. So, I don't think we'll see the Gone rematch, at least not as his next fight. And I think Francis will eventually renew his contract. I think that they're slowly starting to get to a better place than they were before. Problem Kid saying, I think a lot of us in here do it for a living, brother. Again, it's I make more from this than my 9 to 5, but still do a 9 to 5 as I like to keep a routine. I like having the concrete income of other avenues rather than just on sports betting alone. It's stressful, guys. Nathan B saying Tyson Pedro versus Hunsuck around 2 prop. Good luck on that, my friend. What's the strategy behind doing it for a living? I think I just talked about it, but you guys are more than welcome to have that conversation in the chat. Thomas Kane saying C4 or Bang Energy. I know my guy Danny Legs works for Bang, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can get in there. Joe Carter saying you should get sponsored by Master Lock. Maybe I should reach out to them. That'll be dope. Just get a fucking bunch of tools and shit. Good ideas. I like the ideas you guys are coming up with. Viking saying, imagine locking Kobe on a Bang Energy ad. That would be crazy. I think I'd get canceled, wouldn't I? Right? A brown guy with a guy like Kobe Covington. I love Kobe. You know what I mean? I know what the shtick he's doing. I'm totally fine with it. I'm okay with it. but that would be hilarious. Problem Kid saying, I do UFC bets the most. I dabble in NBA and NFL too, though I'm more heavy on NFL than NBA until playoffs of the NBA. Regular season NBA games are so volatile, so I wouldn't recommend. Don't Panic R is saying, my thought process is with Lusa having the bigger reach advantage will frustrate Fletcher and possibly have Fletcher get desperate and go for the KO or gets knocked down. Always thinking of weird scenarios. Not a bad way of looking at it, but one thing you have to remember, AJ's always been at a reach disadvantage throughout his career, right? And he's managed to put up a pretty decent record, although his level of competition has been very skeptical. Maybe this is where Ange Lusa is able to take over that and prove those people wrong. So yeah, good luck on that bet. Again, I have no money on that bet or on that fight. I might actually include it in my Gabby Garcia parlay now that I'm thinking about it. The over 2.5 at least, but good luck. Andrew Archenko saying, I'm all in with Merab Aldo fight. All my 24 lineups have either one of them. Is there a chance the winner does not score here? Well, the only scenario I can see is if Aldo just picks him apart but doesn't land enough strikes. Like he lands enough strikes to get the judges' scorecards, but like doesn't land enough to like get a knockdown or enough volume or something like that. That's the only way that I see it. I'm thinking Aldo can get that knockout, but Merab is usually a gold mine with the DK, right? Lucas Gatta saying, is Harry Hunsucker the worst fighter on the roster? I don't think so. There is a fighter named Mike Jackson, and you guys should go back and check who that guy is. But I think Mike Jackson is the worst. Harry Hunsucker is probably a close second, though. There you go. Corey Eaple already answering it right before I could even get to his question there, or his comment. Thomas Kane saying, Bet MMA tips. Thank you. Going to check that out. Yes, sir. Tammy Gucci saying, do you have merch? Nice hat. Thank you. I don't have any merch for sale or anything like that. I used to actually on my mother-in-law's page, but that seems to have kind of gone to shit. But I'll consider it. You know, as the love continues to come in, as the fan base continues to grow, I'll try to put out some more stuff because I am getting asked about it seemingly on a weekly basis, but I need to make sure it's worth it. So we'll see. Juice Price saying, yes, a lot of cage control time from Marab. That is possible. Lajon Dream saying that would definitely be so damn stressful. I agree. Buffo on the beat saying, I've never made a bet more than 3 figures. Don't have those balls. There you go. Tammy saying, live long and prosper. Exactly. Don't Panic R is saying, here's the roof over the head from the sports betting dream, LOL, without the stress, of course. I appreciate it, my friend. Again, I think this might be the stream that I've ever had the most super chats in. So I greatly appreciate everybody dropping the love through that form. You know, again, the least I ask is hitting the like and subscribe below if you haven't already. But then super chat donations and Patreon subs are always very much appreciated, but never expected. Love you guys. Love you guys. Love you guys. Problem Kid saying, nah, def is super stressful. Exactly. A Loomis saying, this is good advice for new bettors. Stress definitely affects full thought process. Exactly. Drew Sparrow saying, being in good mental health is more important. I agree. Problem Kid saying, very stressful. But the greatest high on earth when you're right. And cash. Exactly. Can't get caught in that bettor's high, though, right? All right. I am winding down on the time I have here with you guys. I absolutely forgot to drop the totals parlay for you guys because I usually have that made up by now. But let me put that together for you guys right now, and then I'll drop it for you. And then I'm going to get out of here. Let me just quickly see what these last couple questions are, and then I'm going to get out of here. Omar saying, does Colby have next shot at the belt? Otherwise, he's going to be waiting a while. He needs to go out there and prove it. I think the best course of action for him would be maybe fighting the winner of Bilal or Hamzat, like based on how those fights come out. But yeah, he's going to have to face one of those top guys before he gets another shot. Black Time 3 saying, do you ever feel more pressure knowing that people failing your picks? I think you mean tailing my picks. A little bit. You know what I mean? I do. But I always try to say, like, take my information, put it up against your own, and then make your decision as well, right? It is stressful to know that people do that, but like I am doing the best that I can on my side of things. And in terms of like feeling bad about like having a Patreon or something like that, it's $5 a month. usually people are paying like $200 a month to get like betting tips from people. So I don't feel as bad in terms of that aspect. And even when I do push the Patreon, it's mainly because I push it for the content that I put out. I don't push it because of the picks that I put out. I push it to be like, hey, this is another avenue for you guys to go out and support your boy for putting out as much content as I do. I put my track record out there publicly. People see how good or bad I'm doing at times, and it's totally up to them whether they want to tell it play for play. Before on the beat saying, can you get Ian the Duck Parker on the show one day, or is he too Hollywood now? I'll say this. I tried getting him on the show even before he got with ESPN and his schedule was way too packed. Now he's on ESPN, and I don't even know if he'll be able to do the show. So I'll hit him up. I'll see. But I love the guy. I have nothing but love and respect for the guy. I would love nothing more than to break down a fight with him, but we'll see. Mark Chain, shout out to Log. Print many tickets off your reads, bro. I appreciate the love, my friend. All right. Let's see. Prison Mike saying, back in the clink, I used to be at elevation, couldn't even jog across the jail yard to get away from the Mormons without getting winded. Yeah. God, Prison Mike. One day I might have to bring you on the show, my friend. I love you, brother. Okay, let me drop this over under parlay for you guys, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I got to get moving to a family barbecue at 3 p.m., which is just less than an hour from now. And I still got to input the Lock the Night, Dog the Night challenge plays. I'll be taking my laptop with me to this barbecue so that I can input those plays on the website and drop those for you guys. This is for anybody that is actually a part of the Lock of the Night and Dog of the Night challenge. But I won't be watching the fights live today. Unfortunately, I won't be watching the fights live. So I'll be catching up at some point this weekend. So I'll be going on a social media blackout as soon as the fights start off. All right, over under parlay. Let's get this going. We'll go under 2.5 in the Alto Moreno and the Silva fight. We'll go over 2.5 in Perron and Orichi Lang. We'll go under 2.5 in Figueiredo and Albazi. We'll go under 2.5 in Woodson and Saldana. We're gonna go under 1.5 in Hunsucker and Pedro. Over 2.5 in Wu and Purilova. That's the only ones I think I want to go with. What's the Usman total set at? Usman 4.5. I'll stay off of that. All right, so we're going to go with the 6-legger here. It comes out for plus 1883 odds here on Pinnacle. Once again, we're going to go Wu Purilova over 2.5, Hunsucker Pedro under 1.5, Saldana Woodson under 2.5, Figueiredo Albazi under 2.5, Perron Orichi Lang over 2.5, and De Silva Alto Moreno under 2.5. There you guys go. Fear that you're saying, is there any way I can find a list of all your picks for tonight? Will be on my Patreon, not my Patreon, sorry. It's on my Twitter and Instagram. So if you just go at MMALOTN, you'll be able to find it in my pinned tweet as well as the last tweet or last post I dropped on Instagram. All right. Good luck, folks. Tammy Gucci saying I would start with the hat. Yes, everybody loves a nice hat, right? I'll see if I can start to mass produce these and get these out there. Maybe take some pre-orders and then see, but appreciate it. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Good luck on your bets tonight. I'll be back tomorrow to break down the Contender Series, the upcoming Contender Series card. And then remember, there's no UFC event next week. So luckily, the MMA Lock Talk is around, which means I'll still be doing live streams Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern, talking to you guys in the chat, just having fun. You know, we can talk about upcoming cards. We can talk about whatever. We can talk about what you had for lunch if you want. It doesn't matter. That's what the MMA Lock Talk is all about. So I hope to see you guys in that live chat during that UFC off week. But I will be dropping Contender Series breakdowns for you guys tomorrow right here on this channel. All right. Good luck tonight, and catch you guys tomorrow for the Contender Series breakdown.